Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Kogan.
Drip, snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go. Okay, so let's talk, ladies and gentlemen, about what happened last night with the PC, because everyone's dying to hear the full story and the resolution and all of that. Thank you to the villain. The villain just re-upped their membership and it counted. So thank you, the villain, and that's 195 in support today. So who's going to drop the $5 is the question. Thank you, the villain. Good to see you here. Okay. So yesterday, my new PC arrived. Skytech PC, Ryzen 7 processor, GeForce RTX 4070 Ti Super Graphics card, 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte hard drive, and it's not, or excuse me, 1 terabyte solid state drive, and I'll be honest, it's not a very good one. We'll talk about that in a second. You know, a few bells and whistles. Like, it has all the RGB, you know, fans, RGB RAM, RGB on the cooler for the CPU and stuff like that. So it showed up, and if you didn't see it yet, I did a bunch of videos on it last night. The first video, I basically showed it off to you. I lifted it up. I showed you what it looked like. I looked at all the features. The case is great. It's another thermal take case. My gaming PC has a thermal take, and now this PC has a thermal take. I love the thermal take cases. They just look aesthetically pleasing, and they have really great air filtration. This thing has all these different things you could take off, filters, and clean, and it's going to make the case so clean over time. I can't wait to, you know, have the ease of use. This PC over here was a nightmare trying to keep clean. These two are going to be so easy because you just take these panels off and just wipe them down. It's super easy. Okay. So, good stuff. So after having showed off the PC, I also showed off the peripherals it came with. A black keyboard and a black mouse, which is weird because the PC's white. So why they gave me a black keyboard and mouse, I don't know. I almost feel like that's a mistake. I feel like they should have given me a white keyboard and mouse, and they goofed up and just gave me the black. But maybe I'm wrong. It just feels like it should have matched, right? And I'm sure they make them in white, so it's a little weird there. Not that it's a big deal. It's not. I'm just saying. But what we determined is that the keyboard and mouse are incredibly basic. They're not great. They only have lighting. Like, they do have RGB, but they only do it for themselves, meaning they don't sync with your system. They don't sync with the RGBs in your PC or anything. They just do their own thing. The mouse just cycles between like red, purple, and blue. And the keyboard has 3 rainbow backdrops that it can either be set on or alternate between. But that's it. Like, they don't sync with anything. And it sucks because the PC is fully synced with single RGB, a really great RGB control program. And it works for everything in the PC, but not the keyboard and mouse. My current keyboard and mouse, the Logitechs that I use for the gaming PC, are fully synced, and they're awesome to see all this lighting and everything on them. They're so, let me show you right now. Take a look. It looks like it's going through all these different, see, it's red, and then there's some orange and yellow, and it's like rippling through. See that? Look at that. How cool is that? Because I have an RGB setup today to go for Stalker, and it's like red, yellow, and white, supposed to be like nuclear, like hydrogen or something. Pretty dope. So, a good PC keyboard and mouse will sync. These do not. It's not a big deal. You know, those were free anyway. To be honest, I didn't even know it was coming with a keyboard and mouse. So just to get one is nice. My gaming PC did not come with one. So, at least I got it with this one. So, what happened last night? Well, I tried to hook it up. I did hook it up. And surprisingly enough, it worked right out of the box. I didn't have to restart my setup. I didn't have to do nothing. So it was actually easier this time than when I did the gaming PC. I don't know why. For the gaming PC, I had to restart my modem and everything to get it to show up on the network. This one just worked right out of the box. I have no idea. I really have no clue why. But I'm not going to question it. It worked. It was easy in that regard, so I was happy I didn't have to do a bunch of extra stuff. So I got Windows, you know, working on it. And I did the initial setup stuff, you know, and it was cool. And everything seemed to be working fine. So after the initial setup, I messed around with the RGBs for a bit, and I showed it off. So my gaming PC has 4 thermal take fans, all of which are really awesome RGB fans. Plus it has thermal take RGB RAM, and it has the CPU cooler that's also thermal take, and they're all synced perfectly. And they work with that program, Signal RGB. And the way that they set it up is really smart. So my gaming PC, look at the video from last night. You'll see my gaming PC. It's a very unique case. The case kind of looks like a gem almost, like a diamond, not a diamond, but like a, I don't know, like a rectangular, gemstone. And all the glass is up front. So when you're looking at the front of the PC, okay, basically you could see all the lights all at once. You see this fan is on the bottom, on top of the power supply, and then there's 3 on the left, and then you got the cooler and the RAM right there. So it's all right there, right in front of you. So you could see it all. It's like, wow, this is fancy. It looks really nice. It's like a really professional looking light show, right? The new PC is set up completely differently. It's a longer case. It's a more standard PC. It's got 1 fan on the back, okay? 3 fans on the top, and 3 fans in the front. So it's kind of a weird fan setup, to be honest. There's a lot of fans, and they're all in weird different positions. Now, the problem is with the LED fans or RGB fans, they only face one direction. The lights don't go 2 directions. They only go 1. So basically, the way that they set it up, the lights for the fans going down are going into the PC. The light on the fan on the back of the PC is also going in, but the ones on the front go out of the PC to the front. So you don't get that same effect of the internal light show as you kind of do with the gaming PC, because the fans are going different directions. All right. Also, it's not thermal take RAM, and it's not a thermal take CPU cooler. It's lower grade. So they look nice, but it's not as pretty as the gaming PC. Okay. So it's nice. It's not as good, I would say, aesthetically pleasing, but definitely the case is set up so there's insane amounts of airflow. Like, that case will never overheat. That case is huge for what's in it, and it's got the liquid cooling. That thing is going to be cool as hell. Like, that case will probably be much cooler than my gaming PC because of the space in there and the amount of fans. It's got 3 more fans than my gaming PC does. So it's going to have, more cooling. I take that back. It has 1 more fan than my gaming PC does, because my gaming PC also has 2 fans on top, and those don't even have RGBs. So anyway, basically, it's a really interesting PC. I like it. I like the looks of it. Okay. Now, after having set up these RGBs and played with it for a while, I showed you guys different RGB setups on camera and everything's trying to be fancy. I said, all right, we have 2 components that we need to install in this thing. We have an SSD for storage. That's where I'm going to put all of the files that I record. And we have a capture card, the Elgato 4K Pro, which is an internal capture card, which I'm going to use to capture all my stuff. I wanted to basically migrate away from using external capture devices that I have to now run across my floor and have a big, setup. I would much rather have an internal card. So that's when I proceeded to do some installation. Pretty much the first major installation that I've done. The first time I put a card into a slot on a PC in ages. Like, I couldn't even tell you the last time I did, probably like 20 years ago. Okay? Now, excuse me. A couple shout outs before we continue. I received a $1 tip from Regular Mountain. I heard about the nightmare you have about being kidnapped by a super fan. You could have prevented this night terror if you appropriately banned known problematic viewers. I have no idea what you're talking about. I was not kidnapped by anyone, nor would I be. So, but thank you for the $1 tip. Okay. Kidnapped by a super fan, apparently. That's interesting. All right. Is that the new story going around the circles? That's bizarre, because I was here. How could I have been kidnapped when I've been here every day? Okay. Continuing on. I received a $20 tip from an anonymous tipper. I live in Florida. I'm staying in Poland for the next 2 months for my job. It sucks being away from my family and friends over the holidays, but your streams make me feel less lonely, so thank you. You are welcome. Thank you very much, first of all, for the support. Second of all, for the kind words. And third, for watching and enjoying my content. I really do appreciate you. I'm glad that you are enjoying the stuff and that it's giving you a sense of, whatever it may be. That is making you feel good while being away from home. I mean, it sucks that you are away from home from the holidays. That's probably pretty rough. I hope that it's fine in Poland. I've never been, but I do have a big Polish chunk of heritage. If you're not aware, my mom's mother, so my grandmother on my mom's side, was half Polish and half something else that she's not sure. But basically, my mom cooked a lot of Polish foods, including homemade pierogies when I was growing up, which were really, really good. So, awesome. All right. And I received a $12 tip from Liquid Boner. Liquid Boner? How do you have a liquid boner? I don't even want to know. I'm not even going to ask. I'm just going to say thank you very much for the $10 or for the $12 tip. I appreciate that very much. And that gets us up to $228 in support so far on this stream. Thank you all. Okay. So now, now I got to ask the question. Who's going to make it around 250? Now we're at 228. We're really, we got to make it a nice even 250. So who's going to jump on there with the 22 and get us nice and even, right? Thank you. Okay. So, that's right. It is shameless. Absolutely, it's shameless. All right. 250 looks great on the leaderboard. I'm just saying. A nice number. Nice milestone number. Anyway. All right. So now, continuing on here. By the way, the villain popped a message. What did he say? We chillin'. He said, we chillin'. The villain be chillin' on the stream. Very nice. Okay. So, now I had to install this Samsung SSD, and I had to install this Elgato capture card. The SSD, I know how to do it, but this motherboard was a little different than a standard motherboard. A standard motherboard would have a little tiny screw or something that you just unscrew, and then you put the SSD into an angled slot, right? It's usually angled upwards, and then you push it like flat, so it's level, and then you put the screw in. Done. Simple, right? Not this one. Not this one at all. Of course not. It has to be something I've never seen before, okay? It's really weird. Okay, the best way I can describe it. Okay, imagine thinking of like a condiments bottle, like a mustard bottle, and you know how it has a tip that you squeeze the condiments out of, correct? Now, some bottles, they twist to close, but others will have a cap, and the cap is attached to the bottle by like this plastic arm, right? So it like bends, you put it on, and you open it, use it, and you close it up again with the top, right? That's actually how this motherboard is. I know that sounds really weird because it is. This motherboard has a spot where you would think there's a screw, but it's not a screw. It's literally a piece of plastic with a plunger, and the plunger goes into a hole, and that's how the SSD sits in there. But there's no way you could tell that. You're looking at it like, what the hell is this? Am I supposed to pull this out? Like, what am I supposed to do with this thing? So first I started like twisting it, and I thought it was like a tab that twists, and you could put the SSD down and twist the tab back and it would hold it. That's what I thought, but no. I put the SSD in, I tried to push it down. It wouldn't get past it. It wasn't twisting out of the way enough. I said, well, that's not what it is. So as I'm trying to figure this out, I had to go online. I had to look up the motherboard. It's like a Gigabyte B650M motherboard or something like that is the model number, okay? So I had to go online. I had to figure this out, and I found a tutorial video. The plunger is in there really tight, so I had to use pliers on my Swiss Army knife to grab it and like go, and finally the plunger went boom and launched out, and it's huge. It's like really long plunger that goes into this thing. So it comes out, and I'm like, how would anyone have known that? Like, unless you build PCs regularly, it's not intuitive. You're looking at it, it doesn't even look like that's what it is. It looks like you're breaking it. So why would you know to do that, right? So I pulled it out. I got the SSD seated, put the plunger back in, done. It's good now. I'm like, all right. It was weird, but I got it done. Very nice. So then I had to move on to the capture card, and this is where the problems began to arise. Shout out to JLB. JLB just became a member this morning. Thank you, JLB. That counts for another $3, which means we're at 231. We're getting closer to that nice round even 250. It'll only take $19 to round it off, and it would look much better on the leaderboard, just saying. Okay. So here's where the problems began. All right, this capture card. And you might say, well, what do you mean? So it's a standard like PCI Express capture card. There's nothing special about it. You know, it's right into a PCI slot. So what's the big deal? So I'm trying to figure it out, and there's two PCI slots available in my motherboard underneath the graphics card. But the one is too close to the graphics card. It wouldn't work. I have to use the one that's under it and align it with the back of the PC case. So I'm like, okay, which metal thing is this that I have to unscrew? And I figure it out, and I unscrew it. So now I got the panel, off the back. I was like, all right, it's time to put this sucker in. So I try to put it in, and I'm realizing the cases today are very different from the cases when I used to do this. Everything's like insanely snug and tight. There's no give whatsoever in this stuff, like at all. And I can't even get like the metal on the back of the capture card to align with the back of the case. I'm like, why not? And I'm realizing the way that they've now done it, you have to angle the metal backing, it's like a big bar, right? It almost looks like a crowbar, this metal thing that's on the back of the capture card. You have to aim the lip of that for like the side of the case and put it in at a weird angle to get it to start to slide in. And as you're also doing that, you then have to align the actual, teeth into the PCI slot. So it's complicated because it's like, if this was empty, if this was an empty motherboard, this would have been easy. I got a giant fucking graphics card in this thing. And I don't want to uninstall the graphics card if I don't have to. It's, I'm not going to fuck with this thing. So I'm trying to do this with no room. And, I don't have tiny hands, but I also don't have giant hands. But I'm trying to do it like, damn, this is a pain in the ass. So this took the longest. Like, if you actually watch in the video, this was the most frustrating thing. It took me the longest to do because I couldn't fucking, fit. I'm like, I know what I need to do, but I can't fucking fit in here to do it. If this was a giant open thing, this would be easy to do. I almost feel like if you were building this from scratch, that would be what you install first. Then you would install the graphics card. You know what I mean? So, Dick Jones says I had to use a Dremel to get my video card to fit into a small case. I have no idea what a Dremel is, and now I'm terrified. I don't think I ever want to find out. What in the hell is a Dremel? I really feel like to be a PC builder, you need to have all special tools and stuff. I really do. Like that freaking the SSD, right? The screw for a normal SSD is insanely small. Like you would have to have the world's smallest fucking screwdriver to get that to screw into your motherboard. Where do you get that from? I don't have a PC tools kit. How am I supposed to have that? Dick Jones says it's a special saw tool, a multi-purpose rotary tool. Oh my God. So anyway, I eventually did get the graphics card, or I said graphics card. I did get the capture card in, and the reason it worked is because it pops in nicely. And once it goes in correctly, it just fits, and you're like, that's definitely right. And then you look, yeah, the screw is now aligning, and you can screw it in. It felt good to finally get it in. You're like, ah, yes. How refreshing. It's in there. Okay? So it's in there. I screw it in, everything's good. By the way, thanks to Dick Jones, who just gifted 5 subs over on Kick. Thank you, Dick. I said it this morning. More people are joining the stream now. I said it this morning. This is the last couple of days to basically make money on Kick for the month because Kick cuts it off around like the 28th-ish. So what I make today and tomorrow will help me a lot for month end on Kick. So anything you guys contribute on Kick is greatly appreciated this morning and this afternoon or tonight or tomorrow's day stream. It would help a lot. So any of you who are withholding contributions on Kick, now is the time to drop those subs. It would help a lot. Okay? So thank you, Dick. And that's another $25 of support, which gets us up to $256. Now, that is awesome. We're over 250, but now we have another problem. It's just uneven. It would be great if we hit 300, a nice round, resounding 300. That would be perfect because then it would be even. It would help anyone who has OCD. They would have all that problem alleviated if we hit a nice solid 300 on the stream today. I'm just saying. What's up, Jade? How you doing? Jade, tonight we're doing Bloodborne as originally planned, Jade. Sadly, Jade, there's no Street Fighter this week. We missed out on it last night with the whole PC thing. But tonight we're playing Bloodborne if you want to come back and chill for that. Okay? Okay. That is true. If we did hit $300 of support on the stream today, the trolls would be seething. That is correct. But I don't want anyone contributing for that. All right? I want people to contribute because they like the content and they like me and they want to see the success continue. I mean, I got a new PC, all this new stuff in the setup. I want you to contribute for that. All right. And also to help people with OCD who are like, man, 256. It's got to be even. It's got to be 300. All right. So who's going to get us there to 300? I'll tell you who. JLB, who just gifted 10 memberships on YouTube. Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships on YouTube, JLB. That's the equivalent of about 30 bucks. Because each one's around 3. So that gets us up to 286. Which means we are a mere $14 away from hitting that nice, even $300. All right? Very, very nice. All right. Okay, so let's continue. So everything is installed. All right? And I'm like, okay, this is awesome. Let's now boot up the PC again, and let's make sure that everything's working, okay? So I boot up the new PC, and the SSD is showing. Oh, look, can I format it? Yeah, format's fine. Beautiful. No problems. The new SSD is working and up to snuff. But then came capture card. So the weirdest thing. First thing I said was, geez, I guess what I have to do is I have to basically see what drivers I need, and I have to get software for it. And this is an Elgato device. This capture card is the Elgato 4K Pro, right? So we go to the Elgato website. It's the most confusing website I've ever seen. You literally can type in Elgato 4K Pro drivers. You will not see any Elgato 4K Pro drivers. They'll give you 700 articles about the 4K Pro and literally no fucking drivers. Nice website, dickheads. All people want is the software. They need to use your shit. They don't need to see a fucking help base of 700 articles. Just give me what I've typed in your search. I mean, what a shitty search engine they have. So we're fighting to try to find the right drivers, right? And we finally get to a drivers page. Just listen to this. So here's what it lists. So first of all, by the way, it's called the Game Capture 4K Pro on the box. That's what it says on the box. Game Capture 4K Pro. There's literally no Game Capture 4K Pro listed anywhere on the site. Doesn't exist. Okay? There's a 4K Pro, a 4K 60 Pro, a HD 60 Pro, 4K X, 4K S Plus, 4K. It's like, what the fuck? What do I have? I don't know what it is. It doesn't say on the card. It doesn't say on the box. It doesn't say in the documentation what it actually is. It says Game Capture 4K Pro, which isn't what anything on the website matches to. So that's frustrating. Really, that's frustrating. Like, what the hell? So I don't know what I'm supposed to get. So I finally just click on 4K Pro. I download, I go to install, and it says, Windows already installed this driver for you. You sure you want it? I was like, oh, so Windows auto installed the driver, so we're good then. All right, whatever. So we're good then, right? We're fine. Cool. So then I said, I got to get the software. Because here's the thing. You can just use these things out of the box, but it won't be fully featured. If you get it working with its own software, then you're usually able to tweak it and have it work properly, say in like OBS, because I'm going to be using OBS for my capturing and streaming and everything. Okay? So I go and get the software. They call it Game Capture HD, but then here we go again, the same rigmarole. There's a Game Capture HD, but now there's a 4K capture. Well, wait, what do I use? I want the ability to capture in 4K. I'm not going to right away, but I do want the ability to do that maybe later. So what software am I supposed to use with this thing? I don't know. So I download both. Okay? I boot up Game Capture HD, no capture device detected. Okay, let me boot up the 4K one. Okay, 4K, and oh, guess what? No capture device detected. Oh. So, let's go ahead and let's restart the PC. So I restart, thinking maybe that'll fix it, right? I restart the PC. I come back. No capture device detected. Well, is it even working? So I go into Device Manager. Yeah, it's right there. It's listed. It says, you know, Elgato 4K Pro. It's there. I'm like, well, then it's definitely working. So why isn't it working with the software? Okay? So now we're really dicking around. We're trying to figure out, is it a different driver? Is it a different software? What could it be? Why would it? The thing is, I know I didn't damage the card in installation because if I did, it wouldn't even show up in like device manager, right? Like if I busted the pins on this thing or something, it wouldn't even be there listed as an option. It would be like removed. So I know I didn't break it or anything. And Windows knew what it was and auto installed the drivers. So obviously it seems to be working. So what the hell is going on, right? Everyone's freaking out. And of course, basically I had to end my stream because I was out of time. You know, I was supposed to be ending early and here I am going late trying to figure this out and I can't figure it out. And by the way, for the record, yeah, both my wife and I were very frustrated last night. We were because we wanted to have time. We had no time. Basically, I went downstairs, saw her for like 10 minutes, and then she had to shower and we went to sleep. So we spent no time together yesterday because I was here late with this bullshit. Okay? So this has to end. This being here late every night, it has to end. All right? I have to be able to spend time with my wife every day. I've had enough of this bullshit. This was a one-time thing because of these extenuating circumstances, this dumb PC. Well, I say dumb PC. It's not. I'm not going to say it's a dumb PC. I'm frustrated. I'm venting. Okay? And, but I can't be doing this every day. All right? So basically, I went to sleep frustrated and tired because I was like, this is bullshit. This really is bullshit. I'm upset. I bought this nice PC. We hooked it all up. And now I can't get this capture device to work with it. And we got to get to the bottom of it. Okay? All right, hold on 1 second. The landscapers are outside, so I need to close my window. It's getting really loud in here. Hold on. Okay. Okay, also have some shout outs to do. I received a $3 tip from Jack Mayhoff. He says, let's go, King. Gee, thanks a lot, Jack Mayhoff. All right, $3 tip there. Thank you. All right, ready? Let's continue. Okay, so basically, oh, by the way, Mr. Jupel did a $2 super chat. Says, if I raise $1,000 on this stream, will I do a shirt rip? Mr. Jupel, you may be like a couple months outdated. I did a shirt rip. We already did that. We have a whole emo on Kick about it and everything. You're a little behind the times by about a month and a half here, but thank you, Mr. Jupel, for the $2 super chat. Okay. So, I go to sleep last night very frustrated, but of course now I've got videos out there. I've got, you know, people who are techies who I know. I've got moderators who I know who are into this stuff. So I'm like, I'm rest assured. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I'm going to have all my answers, right? I 100%, I figured this is exactly what's going to happen. And that's literally exactly what happened, okay? Hold on, because I just overpoured. I overpoured my seltzer. I have to drink some of this before I spill it. Okay, so are you ready? Here is the big ultimate solution. Here is the problem, and here's why my capture card wasn't working. Are you ready for the drum roll? It doesn't work because... That's the wrong thing. It doesn't work because the motherboard is a cheap piece of shit. I didn't do anything wrong. I installed it properly. I put the correct drivers in. But the motherboard on this PC is a cheap piece of shit. So it won't work with it. And you might say, well, I don't get it. Isn't that true? I mean, isn't it good? It's a gaming PC. You spent a lot of money on it, right? So you would think that the motherboard is good. You put it in the slot, and it's the correct slot. It's a PCI Express slot, right? Yes, except here's the problem. With these pre-builds, they tend to try to skimp out on certain aspects of it in order to cut corners and save money. This particular PC has an insanely good graphics card, a pretty good processor, a bunch of great cooling, good RAM, but they cheaped out in two spots, the motherboard and the standard SSD that it came with. All right. So even though I have two PCI Express slots, they don't work right. They're basically incredibly underpowered, low-grade PCI Express slots. They're not meant for full-powered devices. So I have 2 of them, and they're literally worthless. Like, they might as well have just removed the goddamn slots from the motherboard because they don't do anything. You can't plug in other things besides, like, you have the one graphics card. That's the full-fledged slot. The others are basically bogus-ass slots that don't really do anything. Maybe I could put in, like, a USB expansion card, and that's it. But it won't do anything else, okay? So how fucking dumb is that, right? That's incredibly stupid. Now, what's funny about it, people looked into my gaming PC because they were like, gee, maybe what you could do, because you may not be aware, the components in my new PC are almost identical to the components in my gaming PC. The graphics card is the same graphics card. It's a really good one. The processor is the difference. In my capture streaming PC, it's a Ryzen 7 AMD processor. In my gaming PC, I think it's an Intel i5. It's an i5 or i7, I don't know. But it's an Intel processor. That's like the only real difference. Besides that, they're almost the same hardware. So they looked into it, and they're like, could you put the capture card into your gaming PC? And they looked into it and get what? No. Because my gaming PC also has a lower end motherboard where I have a slot, but that slot would not work with the capture card. So with both PCs, both of them, I can't install this internal capture card. So they're making gaming PCs today, pre-built, that have like top of the line stuff in them, but you can only use what's in them. If you want to expand, if you want to change or upgrade, you're very limited with what you can do. You can't really go crazy. I guess the best way, if you want a fully customizable experience where you can add stuff, you need to build it yourself. Now, I've already explained to you guys, listen, if this were 20 years ago and I were a younger man with more time and patience, I probably would buy all the components myself and I would build it live on stream and I would do, but I'm not. I'm 42 years old. I need to be able to, stream every day. I need to be able to make content, and I'm not a PC builder. I don't think anyone's going to care about me doing a series of streams building a PC. I don't want to do that. So that's why I'm stuck with pre-builds. Okay. Plus, I know for a fact if I did do it to myself, I would do something wrong and break something, and it would be very frustrating. All right. I already have enough stress with the pre-builds that I have. Can you imagine if I was sitting here for 4 weeks? Okay, not 4 weeks, but probably like 2 days, building these PCs from scratch. I'd probably lose my mind. The thing is, I used to do it. I used to build gaming PCs. I felt it was very fun as a hobby. I had a lot of good times with it, but I don't want to do it today as a 40-year-old. Okay? So, basically, here's the deal. I cannot use any internal PCI cards at all with either of my PCs. The motherboards are shitty. In addition to that, I found out that the SSD, it's a 1 terabyte Kingston SSD that came with this PC, this Skytech PC, is crappy. It's slow. It's the slower version. What do they call it? Like NV2? So it runs at like 1 rate, but actually the Samsung SSD that I purchased, the 980 Samsung, runs at twice the speed. It's an NV3. So I was actually told what I should do is put all my capture stuff onto the other hard drive. Like instead of running OBS off of the operating system hard drive, I should put that onto the newer hard drive because it's going to run faster. So I probably will do that. What I'm probably going to do now, I'm going to uninstall the capture card. All right. I'm just going to return it, which is, thank God I ordered it off Amazon because now I get a real easy return. All right. So that's no problem. I'll be able to return it very simply, no big deal, and get my money back. I'm going to go into the PC. I'm going to uninstall everything. I'm going to uninstall all the Elgato software, the drivers. I'm going to uninstall OBS because I did install OBS last night just to test it, and the capture device wasn't working with that either. I'm going to uninstall OBS. Now I'm going to install OBS again, but I'm going to install it onto the expansion hard drive because it'll run faster off of there. Okay? So you might say, well, wait, what are you going to do? How are you going to capture? I've had enough. It just sucks because I really wanted to feel like I had the top of the line stuff, but I'm not allowed to have that. I guess unless I spend an insane amount of money, I'm not allowed to have that, and I don't want to drop $2,500 to $3,000. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to get another external capture card. I'm not going to use the one that I'm using because the one that I'm using basically only does 4K 30. So 4K resolution, 30 frames per second. That's all it will do. I would like the ability one day to capture 4K 60. Okay. And I want the fastest speed. And that one's not the fastest speed. It's a good capture card that I'm using right now, but it's not the fastest. So I have already purchased the highest end AverMedia external USB capture device possible. All right. It's the same brand that I'm used to using. It's not Elgato. It's AverMedia. And I'm used to using this. I know how it works in OBS. I've used their software before. I get it. I know how to get it to work. Okay. It's going to do 4K 60. It's going to do 1440p 120. Actually, I think this thing actually does 144, but I'm never going to do 144. And then it does obviously 1080p 120. So it does everything I want. It's going to have all the features. The only bummer, it's going to be external. So once again, I'm going to have an external capture card sitting on the floor or sitting on, right now mine is in the middle of the floor on a box. Okay. It's going to be a mess. There's nothing I can do about it. It's frustrating as hell. But when you have a shitty motherboard like I have, both of these motherboards apparently are not very good. You're limited with what you can do. And someone made the point in chat, well, there's companies that you can pay and you tell them specifically what you want and then they'll build it. You're right. That's how I got my $3,000 PC that lasted me 10 years. I told them every component that I wanted in that PC. And I think the price tag started off like $2,200, but by the time they were done, were telling me, oh, you need this, this is what's available. It ended up costing $3,000 after tax and delivery. So I could pre-build my PC. You're right. I could pre-build. I could get a custom-made, pick everything I want, and it would probably cost me around $2,500. And then by the time it got here, it'd be $3,000, which I'm not. The whole point of getting this PC was getting a deal. This PC used to be $1,900, and it was on sale this week for Black Friday for $1,500. So I got $350, $400 off the price tag because of Black Friday. That's how I was able to get it. I wasn't going to drop $3,000 for gaming and capture or a streaming and capture PC. Okay. So, this just sucks that that's what happened, you know, but it is what it is. That's life. You do the best with what you got. I'm not going to sit here and complain and be upset. The PC itself looks nice. It worked out of the box. It was easy to set up. The SSD worked. I can't use an internal capture card. I'm not going to cry and be a baby about it. External is all right. Okay, and I got the best. I literally bought the best one that's external right now. And the thing is, technology will advance. This PC will be ready that if a new capture card comes out that's better, I could buy it, right? If there's a new improved version of an external capture card, I could just get it and it will work with this PC. It's not like my old one where nothing worked with it. This one is up to the challenge of doing all modern stuff. Okay, so it's coming tomorrow. It's actually coming overnight, arriving in the morning. I will have the new capture card for tomorrow. So if we want, part of tomorrow's Thanksgiving stream, we could actually plug it in and make sure it works, which I think it will. I don't think the AverMedia is going to give me any problems. I think it's going to work just like that. We can even do, for the first time, we can test 4K. We can actually test a 4K capture video and do a test, you know, and see how it looks. We'll upload it to YouTube and see what happens, right? Does it have RGB? I have no idea. How do I know? Do you think when I was buying the external capture card, I wanted to check if it had RGB? I have no idea if it has RGB. Maybe it does. All this shit has bells and whistles now. Every single piece of tech has fancy shit all over it, right? Every piece. So maybe it does. Maybe it actually has RGB and it'll sync with my RGB system. I don't know. What a silly question, though, right? Okay, so it is what it is. It's coming tomorrow. Perhaps tomorrow we'll test it, and that'll be cool to do just think about. Oh my God, think about this. Think about this. I didn't even think about this till right now. I'm gonna have a gaming PC running a game at 4K. That's going to be running into my new streaming and capture PC, which is going to capture it at 4K. but then I'm going to capture from that PC onto my current capturing gaming PC, which is going to broadcast at 1080p. It's going to be 3 fucking PCs daisy chained together in a setup. Oh, no. And that is true. Dio says, the one thing I know about 1440p, it can be used with a medium level of YouTube delay. 4K is the long one. One reason you may want to use 1440p. I can tell you this right now. I will not be doing 4K anytime soon. I just want to test it. Like, I would like to test 4K and maybe test a 1440p video. Like, let's test the quality and put them on YouTube and see how they look. Just a tech test. That's all it would be, a tech test. I have no plans to doing 4K. 4K is way too high bandwidth. It would take forever to upload videos at 4K. Like, even streaming at 4K and uploading, it would take too long. Right now, I'm filming 1080p 60 frames per second, but it's like 20,000 kilobits per second video. So the videos are very, very crisp and good. But to give you an example, after the stream goes offline at 4 p.m., I have a 2-hour break until I start my late stream at 6:15. If I set up to upload the podcast and the 3 gameplay videos, they don't finish. And that's not my internet, that's the bottleneck. It's YouTube. YouTube's ingestion servers have this very slow capacity, where even if you have really fast upload internet, it's just slow. They don't take the file fast. So I can't even finish uploading my earlier stream videos before my late stream. Then I end up uploading everything overnight, and now you get 20 videos that go live at once, and it's all convoluted, and people get upset. So imagine now trying to upload I would be surprised if one single 4K video of an hour length would upload in 2 hours to YouTube. I bet it wouldn't. I bet with the file size, it would be astronomically huge, and they wouldn't even take the file. It would take like a fucking 6-7 hours to upload it. So I'm thinking 1440p. I'm thinking I'm going to stream 1080p 60 frames, 8500 kilobits per second to Kick. That'll be one process for the graphics card. I'm also going to stream probably around 1500 kilobits per second, 1440p or higher, 60 frames to YouTube. That'll be a second process for the graphics card. And then local recordings will probably be put to the GPU. And I think the CPU and the GPU and the CPU can do different codecs. Like Dio just said, he says, you can now use the AV1 recording. That's a different codec than what I've been using all along. And that's smaller file sizes. That's true. So I can have like AV1 recording here, the other codec for another. We can mess around till we figure out the sweet spot of how to record and get the best quality, the best file size, everything, right? There you go. Darren says, try testing the NVIDIA AV1 encoding tomorrow at 1440p 60 frames. It looks amazing with only 12 megabits per second. That's the benefit of AV1. Cool. Very nice. Now, for the record, we could possibly get this PC up and running tomorrow, but it's not ready to go as my streaming and capture PC. Why not? I have to migrate everything you see here, the whole layout, the setup, the transitions, the scenes, everything, and all the files that I have on this PC that I'm streaming from right now. I have to migrate all of that over to the new PC. And that's going to take a while. That's not going to be, oh, snap my fingers, it's done. That's going to be probably a lot of trial and error, a lot of messing around, a lot of, even if I output the OBS stuff and I directly input it into there, I guarantee you we're going to have issues. The files aren't going to be in the right spot, so I'm going to have to link every file properly. There's going to be conflicts and issues. I guarantee it. And then on top of that, I also want to use my Stream Deck, which I've had for years and never been able to use. I'll be able to use a Stream Deck for the first time, and I'll set up scenes and sound effects and all kinds of stuff, transitions. Instead of doing this, look how cumbersome this is. Hey, guys, I want to show you the Wendy's menu. Here you go. You see how cumbersome that was? Instead, it could just be a button. Hey, guys, I click, and we're already there. We're on the PC. We can transition right to the PC. Or we could transition between scenes. I could transition. This is something that I like to do. I could transition down to here. And it's right away. We're right. You know what I mean? Like, here I am. We're ready to go. Instead of me fumbling around with scenes in OBS, I can just hotkey them to the Stream Deck. And that'll be awesome. So that's something I definitely want to do. All right? And the sky's the limit. Like, there's going to be more stuff we're going to be able to do having a modern PC. It's been 10 years, guys. Finally, I can be caught up with technology and I can do everything properly. And I'm excited to do so. I really am. Okay. So, yeah, I know. Master of disaster says 3 PCs running at the same time. Is electricity free in the US? I'm not going to be doing that all the time. It's just for tomorrow. And then after that, we're just going to be doing 2. I'm not going to be having 3 running all day. It'll always be the gaming PC and the capture PC. JDTV says, will the new capture card have VRR? Yes. HDMI 2.0? Yes. If not, why not buying the Elgato external capture card? No, the AverMedia has it. The AverMedia and Elgato both have an external capture card that are exactly the same. It's just different brands. They do exactly the same. They do the same quality. VRR 2.1. They have it all. So no worries. I got the AverMedia. If for some reason the AverMedia doesn't work, yes, I could buy the Elgato too. So here's the thing. I don't have to worry about this shit anymore because of you guys. Again, I want to tell you guys so much how much I appreciate all of you. I can afford to do this, and I don't have to worry about it. Like right now, I have to return that Elgato card, but I didn't have to wait to buy the replacement. I can afford it now. It used to be I was living week to week on what I was making on streams, and now I'm not anymore because of you, because of this, because of your support. Dude, it feels so, it's such a weight off my shoulders that I can live now. Thank you for that. Thank you for the streak. Thank you for this. Because now it's like, it's such a worry gone. I was like, yeah, I could buy the AverMedia. It doesn't work. Fuck it. Buy the Elgato and return the AverMedia after the fact. I can do that. Finally. Thank you.
I got the drip going. 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 I got the drip going.
It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean, these dumb kids. This is what it is, it's dumb kids.